The link between diabetes and cancer. 10 foods you need to stop eating. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a crucial topic that affects millions. The link between diabetes and cancer. Did you know that having diabetes can increase your risk of developing certain types of cancer? It's true, and it's something we need to take seriously. We're going to break down 10 common foods many people consume regularly without realizing they could be increasing their cancer risk, especially if you have diabetes. Remember, I'm not saying you can never have these foods again, but moderation and awareness are key. Let's get started. Processed meats a cancer risk for everyone, especially diabetics. Our first culprit is something many of us have in our refrigerators: processed meats. We're talking about bacon, sausage, hot dogs, deli meats, those tasty but not so healthy options. The problem with processed meats is that they often contain preservatives like nitrates and nitrites, which have been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers, including colorectal cancer. For those with diabetes, the concern is even greater. Limiting your intake of processed meats is crucial for everyone, but it's especially important for individuals with diabetes. Try swapping out processed meats for healthier protein sources like fish, chicken, beans, lentils, or tofu. Sugary drinks, a recipe for disaster. Next up, let's talk about sugary drinks. These beverages are loaded with sugar and empty calories that can wreak havoc on your health, especially if you have diabetes. The problem with sugary drinks is that they cause a rapid spike in blood sugar levels, which can lead to insulin resistance over time. Studies have shown a strong link between high sugar intake and an increased risk of certain cancers, including pancreatic cancer, colorectal cancer, and postmenopausal breast cancer. When you consume sugary drinks, you're essentially feeding the cancer cells and promoting their growth. So, what can you do? The answer is simple. Ditch the sugary drinks. Opt for water, unsweetened tea, or sparkling water with a splash of lemon or lime for flavor. Your body will thank you for it. Refined carbohydrates, hidden sugars wreaking havoc. Now let's talk about refined carbohydrates, the sneaky culprits hiding in plain sight. We're talking about white bread, white rice, pasta, pastries, and other processed foods made with refined grains. The problem with refined carbohydrates is that they've been stripped of their fiber and nutrients during processing, leaving behind simple sugars that are quickly absorbed into your bloodstream. This causes a rapid spike in blood sugar levels, just like sugary drinks. Over time, these blood sugar spikes can lead to insulin resistance, increasing your risk of developing type 2 diabetes and making it harder to manage existing diabetes. Refined carbs have also been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers, including colorectal cancer, breast cancer, and endometrial cancer. High insulin levels can promote cell growth and division, potentially increasing the risk of cancer cell development. So, what's the solution? Choose whole grains over refined grains whenever possible. These simple swaps can make a big difference in your blood sugar control and overall health. Fried foods, a carcinogenic cocktail. Let's face it, fried foods are delicious, but unfortunately, they're also one of the worst offenders when it comes to cancer risk, especially for those with diabetes. When foods are fried at high temperatures, a chemical reaction occurs that creates harmful compounds called acrylamide. Acrylamide is a known carcinogen, meaning it can cause cancer in humans. Studies have linked acrylamide intake to an increased risk of endometrial cancer, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, and other types of cancer. If you have diabetes, the risks are even higher because acrylamide can worsen insulin resistance. So what can you do? Limit your intake of fried foods as much as possible. Instead of frying, try baking, grilling, roasting, or steaming your foods. Red meat. Enjoy in moderation, especially with diabetes. Red meat can be a good source of protein and iron, but consuming too much, especially processed red meat, has been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers, including colorectal cancer, pancreatic cancer, and prostate cancer. For individuals with diabetes, excessive red meat consumption can worsen insulin resistance, leading to poorer blood sugar control and increasing the risk of diabetes-related complications. So what's the solution? Moderation is key. Enjoy red meat as an occasional treat rather than a dietary staple. Choose lean cuts of meat, limit your intake of processed red meat, and opt for healthier cooking methods like baking, roasting, or stewing. Alcohol and diabetes, a dangerous cocktail. Now let's talk about alcohol. Alcohol can pose serious risks for people with diabetes. It can interfere with blood sugar control, raising or lowering levels unpredictably. This increases the risk of hypoglycemia. Alcohol can also contribute to weight gain and worsen insulin resistance. So, what's the bottom line? Limit your alcohol intake or avoid it altogether. Artificial sweeteners, a controversial topic. Artificial sweeteners are often marketed as a healthier alternative to sugar, especially for individuals with diabetes who are looking to manage their blood sugar levels. However, the science surrounding artificial sweeteners and their long-term health effects is still evolving, and there are concerns about potential links to cancer. Some studies have suggested that artificial sweeteners may disrupt the balance of gut bacteria, potentially increasing the risk of certain cancers. The evidence is not conclusive, and some studies have found no association between artificial sweeteners and cancer. The best approach is to be cautious and consume artificial sweeteners in moderation. High-fat dairy products. Moderation is key. Dairy products can be a good source of calcium and protein, but it's essential to choose wisely, especially for individuals with diabetes. High-fat dairy products, such as full-fat milk, cheese, butter, and ice cream, can contribute to weight gain, increase cholesterol levels, and potentially increase the risk of certain cancers, including prostate cancer and breast cancer. Additionally, high-fat dairy can worsen insulin resistance, making it harder to manage blood sugar levels. So what's the solution? Opt for low-fat or fat-free dairy products whenever possible. Canned foods, convenient, but proceed with caution. Canned foods can be a convenient pantry staple, but it's important to be mindful of potential risks, especially for individuals with diabetes. Many canned foods are high in sodium, which can raise blood pressure and increase the risk of heart disease, a serious concern for people with diabetes. Additionally, some canned foods are lined with a chemical called bisphenol A, BPA, which has been linked to various health problems, including an increased risk of certain cancers. Choose fresh or frozen fruits and vegetables whenever possible, and opt for BPA-free canned goods when available. Salty snacks, a recipe for high blood pressure. Let's be honest, salty snacks are tempting, but they can be a major health hazard, especially for individuals with diabetes. High salt intake is a significant risk factor for high blood pressure, which can damage blood vessels and increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, and other serious health problems. For people with diabetes, high blood pressure is particularly concerning because it can worsen diabetes-related complications such as diabetic neuropathy, nerve damage, and diabetic retinopathy, eye damage. So, what can you do? Limit your intake of salty snacks like potato chips, pretzels, and salted nuts. Focus on incorporating more whole, unprocessed foods into your diet, which are naturally lower in sodium. Your health is in your hands. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more health tips and information. By being aware of the foods that can increase your risk of cancer, especially if you have diabetes, you can make informed choices that support your overall well-being. Stay healthy and take care.